Hola, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are all doing well. Say, let's play a game together. Let's think of some movies that are distinctly different with each other, but have the exact same plot. A mysterious figure that invites people into a twisted, booby-trapped environment where only those who follow the rules survive? That's right. That's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Saw. Are you getting the point of this? Okay, let's try again. A single father goes into a dangerous journey, going through dangerous activities to help find their kidnapped child. That is, of course, the movie Taken and Finding Nemo. And for our last one, let's just end this off on a wholesome note. A character who lives their life under the cruel illusion of a fabricated reality, manipulated by forces beyond their understanding. They are the big stars of a TV show. Their every action is observed and controlled, but without their consent and awareness. That's right, that's the Truman Show, and the movie that we're going to be talking about, Bolt. Okay, bit of a harsh intro into what it was, but it's still the freaking truth. I've been contemplating a while on what video I wanted to make, but one night when I decided to go to bed, I just thought to myself, due to the hindsight, wait, Bolt! And I wrote it on my notepad and went to bed. And it seems that I'm going on this whole rabbit hole of going through rewatching old classics that I used to watch as a kid. Watch this video right here. And it's just been such a wild ride in the hindsight that I know of now. I say this because I used to watch Bolt as a kid. In my mind, I had the belief that the story of Bolt revolved around a dog gifted with superpowers, gets lost trying to save his owner, but in the process of his journey, he loses his own powers. Turns out, this movie that Disney made is about a corporation who brainwashes a literal dog, believing a reality that isn't even real in the first place. Seriously, Disney, what the fuck? We open the film as an animal rescue shop opens up. We're welcomed with our main character of the film, Bolt, still young as a puppy and before his eventual mental illness, is seen chewing on a toy carrot when his eyes lock in with a young girl as they both get excited to see each other in their own presence, leading to the girl, who we know as the character named Penny, who is voiced by Miley Cyrus. As Penny and the puppy are having a wholesome moment together, we see Penny wrap a collar on the puppy that reads Bolt, which is where he gets his name. But like, how did she have a collar with a name in mind already? Unless, did Penny already have a dog named Bolt? And maybe the dog possibly passed away and this is how she's coping? By getting another pet named Bolt? Since she already has a collar? Wow, I'm 2 minutes into this film and I've already gone too deep in this movie. So 5 years have passed since that moment. We then see that Penny's dad is in trouble and reveals that he can't go home for a while. But as to not worry, he has done experiments on Bolt to make him a real powerful force to protect Penny. Movie title appears and now we see Penny and Bolt on top of a building, spying on a man who had kidnapped their father, known as Dr. Calico. Dr. Calico is busy trying to get the professor to spill something to him, but the professor denies and tries to keep shut, leading to the agent of Calico to be sent to deliver a packaging that Calico needs. Penny and Bolt would then follow said agent into an alleyway, but as they look for him, the door ends up in a dead end. But then from a far distance, we can see the agent in a car positioned in their direction. And Dr. Calico is all like,
"We only need the girl."
And within that order, the agent just decides to start charging the car and drive right towards them. Dude, you were ordered to take the girl, not just run the girl over. Bolt, with the skull clearly made of concrete, as he headbutts the car, sending it flying and crashing downwards. And even after almost killing a man, Bolt just simply emotes on him. Penny then asks the agent as to where Calico is, and they have this really funny transition into the next scene.
"I'm not talking to you." Bolivia!
Okay, look. This battle between Penny and Dr. Calico must have been going on for a while, to the point where she just is too casual to do this. Like, yeah, I get it. You gotta go through such lengths to finding your missing dad, but like, wow, girl, you're just 10! Penny and Bolt sees a bunch of choppers heading towards them, leading to Penny alerting Bolt that they have to go, leaving Bolt just so nice enough to leave the man back on the road. Thank goodness! Penny goes off to escape in a scooter. I didn't know that they could make a little girl getting on a scooter look so badass, but here we are! And we have this little chase scene. Penny then throws Bolt like an attached leash.
Bolt! Zoom zoom.
To then move at literal flash speed. We then see that the bikers try to decide to throw a bomb towards one of the gas tanks. As you do. Penny alerts Bolt to go for the bomb while she sorts out the other guys out. In which she does! Pretty easily. Barely any inconvenience. Bolt then grabs the bomb while being chased by the choppers, leaping on a crane's hook. Okay, dude, perfect. The chopper tries to stop the dog, but Bolt's laser eyes stop that from happening. Another chopper sends in another bike. The bike then tries to shoot a missile right at Bolt, to which Bolt responds by jumping over another chopper and letting that take the hit. And the animators thought the death scene was so fire that they had to repeat it 3 times. Bolt then traces back to Penny, putting the bomb on one of the bikers, but in a panic, the biker just decides to let his homie take the hit.
Good boy.
Bolt bombed a helicopter that could have possibly traveled down and collided with ongoing traffic, but yay, good boy! But then as Penny and Bolt seems to be off the hook, Calico's goons begin to surround them again. Penny then commands Bolt to speak, to which Bolt responds by preparing himself to push everyone back with his big super bark attack, which is essentially like a sonic boom within a bark, killing everyone, I think, in his path. Penny then celebrates the mission with Bolt by taking a photo together.
Mission accomplished.
What mission did you accomplish? You just killed everyone on sight. What was there to accomplish? Also, taking a photo with your dog together while in the background you just wiped out an entire army of men is crazy work. Penny takes Bolt to a trailer to which it's revealed that this whole action sequence was all just a part of a TV show. But during the editing process of the scene, they realized that the boom mic was in the shot, causing everyone to be upset by it, especially the director, who then revealed that in order to have Bolt create a more realistic performance, they have to make him believe that everything happening around him is real. Like, yeah, legit. Like if you've ever watched The Truman Show, which is a movie starring Jim Carrey, where they had a man named Truman live in this fantasy world where he had no clue that his whole life was being broadcasted for a TV show. They're doing that, but for a dog. That's messed up, man. We then shoot the next scene where Penny is doing her best to spend time with Bolt, but Bolt, with how he's been manipulated, is watching over the door or waiting for the fictional characters to show up. Man, this Disney movie sure has gotten dark this early on. Penny then has to go home, but as she leaves the trailer, we're then introduced to Penny's agent, who is just named the Agent. You guys work flawlessly coming up with that name. And he's essentially this piece of trash that only has the mind for business and doesn't really care about Penny's feelings whatsoever throughout this. She's like begging him to have Bolt for the weekend at home, but the agent just does his best to incorporate that she can't because the studio is just Bolt's whole world. Bring up the fact that they need to continue brainwashing a dog. And then we have the agent who brings up how he loves his daughter at home and would, quote, do anything for her, but then immediately says right afterwards,
and I would trade her for you in a heartbeat. True story.
Just said he loves his daughter, would do anything for her, but if he could trade it for someone else, he would? Huh? We then see Paul and Penny film another scene together, and they're showing the production process as to how they're doing this while the scene is going on. Bolt lays out the henchman, Penny tries to hack into the computer, but Calico stops all those plans from happening and kidnaps Penny. Bolt tries to save Penny, but gets captured by a dog handler, and that's what leaves as the scene's cliffhanger. Penny then tries to comfort Bolt because she can see that Bolt is freaking out over losing his owner because remember, this is still real to him, damn it. But many of the cast and even Penny's agent stop her from doing so. Because hey, a dog traumatized, that's good TV! The dog handler puts Bolt back in the trailer. The two cats from the show are trying to mess with Bolt because they know about his condition. So messed up! But when they try to, Bolt, without a second guess, jumps right out of the trailer to look for Penny. And though looking for her, he's hearing multiple screams of Penny crying for help, but he doesn't know that it's just the sound guy looping her voice in a scene. Bolt then charges towards a containment unit that has the Calico logo, but then gets knocked out by colliding with the window, crashing down into a box and ends up being shipped to New York. Bolt jumps out of the box in a panic because he has no clue as to where he is, but sees a guy who believed was Dr. Calico, tries to hit but a fence, but easily gets humbled. And this is where Bolt slowly goes into full confusion mode, as in his mind, none of his powers are working. He couldn't headbutt a fence out, he couldn't knock out a guy with just his palm, and he couldn't jump over a sidewalk construction. It still powers through as he continues to chase over a containment that just looks like Dr. Calico's logo, to the point where he just stands in front of a truck to try and headbutt it. But thankfully, the driver noticed and stopped the truck when he could, which is good because imagine how the movie would have gone had it originally ended.
It ends here.
The containment drops only for Bolt to find out that he was just chasing a toilet for 2 minutes straight. And in his panic, two dogs try to sniff his bum, a lady tried to look after him because he looked lost, and then out of more panic, Bolt charges away and then ends up getting stuck between some bars. He tries to get out, but to no avail. But three pigeons come in to help out, and now Bolt is under the belief that styrofoam peanuts are the reason for his loss of powers. But the pigeons don't really care about that, because they're all just having a group discussion as to how this dog looks familiar, and while this is happening, two buses pass through with Bolt's logo on it, and nobody takes notice of it.
Hold on. No, I don't know. I thought I knew.
Bolt figures that the best way to find who describes Dr. Calico as the green-eyed man, aka Dr. Calico, is to find his cat. The birds speculate that they have the cat that Bolt is looking for. And this is where we meet our next character, Minz, who is clearly withholding an operation which orders birds to find her food in exchange for their protection. But immediately she would expire her deal with a bird named Louis because all he had to offer was a single seed.
Someone's gonna teach you a lesson.
Yeah, I'm really scared now.
Bolt immediately attacks Minz thinking it's one of Calico's cats, but when Bolt is not giving any answers,
Looks like we're gonna do this the hard way.
Hey, you're crazy, man!
Christ, Bolt! Even with Minz being threatened with literal death, she still finds a way to lie through her teeth to convince Bolt that she can take him to where Penny is, as she knows from his collar that Bolt is from Hollywood. Finding themselves a map directing Bolt to where Hollywood is, but Bolt wants Minz to tag along with him to find Penny together. They go into a truck that they think could lead him back to Hollywood, and they drive off.
Tongue, I know that dog. Telling you, I know this dog. I seen him somewheres.
The agent checks up on a depressed Penny, worrying about Bolt. Meanwhile, the agent is all like, look, lost your dog? I get it, but I got you on the Tonight Show. Not reading the room whatsoever, and while Penny continues to feel sad about this whole scenario, he continues to be this careless douche as he goes,
I bet Bolt would want you to do the Tonight Show.
dude, read the room! So Bolt and Minz are on their way to Hollywood, discussing about Bolt's origins, about his powers, but Minz, quite innocently, tries to bash Bolt's skull in with a bat. As you do, but due to the weight of the bat, Minz falls down and in return makes a bunch of boxes fall down on Bolt, and when Bolt realizes that he's surrounded by styrofoam, he freaks out because he still thinks that it's his weakness and immediately drags himself and Minz out of the truck. And in the process of them having a quick scuffle together, Bolt freaks out because his stomach is growling, because he has no apparent idea on what that means. What? Okay, look, I can understand the brainwashing that Bolt's been going through his whole life, but he doesn't understand what being hungry is? What? That doesn't add up. Like, unless the production team convinced him that he had superpowers to handle not being hungry, or just some of the... No, this just doesn't add up! Anyways, Mins takes Bolt to an RV park and teaches him how to do a dog pouting face to help strangers hand him food, which ends up working in Bolt's favor, but when Mins does it...
Beat it, stupid cat!
Then when trying to get through from another RV, they run into their next potential ally in Rhino, who is a hamster that is a big fan of Bolt, and he's like... the best part of the movie. He's this energetic, comedic, nerdy character that also has the belief that Bolt's powers are actually real, and his enthusiasm for helping Bolt is what leads them to join the team. Rhino's best plan to get to Penny faster is by traveling by train, but when Mins is horrified by the plan, Rhino reassures her that Bolt's done this all the time in the so-called magic box, and that leads to Mins putting the pieces together that Rhino is referring to a TV, and thus Bolt is actually just a dog in a TV show.
Bolt's pictures. Of course! He's from a... Oh, no! Let it begin! Let it begin! You're not a superhero!
But the adrenaline kicks in for both Rhino and Bolt as they drop towards the train. I have no clue as to how Rhino has any willpower to survive and control himself to still be on top of that train without any big gust of wind blowing him away, but hey, maybe I'm just underestimating how heavy hamsters are. Mins gets hung towards the ladder of the train, but when Bolt tries to help, the ladder drops and Bolt is left stuck towards the ladder. Rhino tries to take up Mins, thinking she's trying to sabotage Bolt, but thankfully Mins is stalling of holding in the nail and Bolt's willpower that managed to drop out of the train. When Bolt tries to carry on, Mins, rightfully so, is upset by the realization and tries to get Bolt to realize that he's just part of a TV show and his powers are just fake. But when Bolt disagrees, he tries to do his infamous super bark attack.
Oh, the super bark. Scary, scary.
But then when that ends up not working, Bolt then tries again and again.
Wow. That one felt really super. Wait. No, it didn't.
His barking would just end up alerting an animal control service, capturing Bolt and Mins while Rhino had to watch on. Our next scene shows Penny trying to make missing posters for Bolt, only to then be interrupted by the agent, and he admits that he did find Bolt! Woo! But he's just a different dog though. Yeah, Bird didn't find the actual dog, he just found a replica of Bolt because he thought that's what would make her feel better. What the hell, man? Eddie's excuse to when Penny catches up to his lie is that he brings up a story of when he was little and that he always wanted a bicycle for his birthday, but instead his parents just gave him a baseball glove. And you know what he wanted to do with that glove?
I pretended that baseball glove was a bicycle. And I rode it to school every day. True story.
Where did they even find this guy? So Mindy, who owns the network that broadcasts their TV show, admits that they have to find a new replacement for Bolt because if there is no Bolt, then people will just end up losing their jobs, leaving Penny to turn off the printing machine that makes the missing Bolt posters, which leads to people never knowing that the real Bolt was missing in the first place. Which is... like, damn, that gave me chills. But then again, it still makes you wonder, is this still the first time this has happened though? Because I don't know, man, I'm still iffy on the fact that they still have a collar with Bolt's name on it, even though that they had no pet in mind when they got the original Bolt in the movie. I don't know, man. The animal rescue catcher then realizes that his car is almost out of fuel and stops at a gas station. And Rhino manages to catch up and he just... well...
Ring, ring. Who is it? Destiny? I've been expecting your call.
Dude, he's freaking hilarious. He's like the best part of this film. So Rhino gets out of his ball and it's a bit too psycho for my own taste. He frees Bolt as Bolt was trying to charge right at the door. Bolt then acts excited, thinking that he did all the work, but then when Rhino himself cleared the situation up, admitting that he was the reason that helped Bolt escape, which in turn helps Bolt realize that he actually doesn't have powers. But Rhino, the best character in the film, helps motivate him back to energy because in his dumb, super fan mind, he still believes that Bolt's powers are real and gives no bother to let Bolt reveal that to him.
You can! Because all over this planet, there are animals who feel like they can't. They need a hero, Bolt. Sometimes the impossible can become possible if you're awesome!
Best character! So Bolt and Rhino make it to the shelter using Rhino to alert the dogs to distract the guard. Bolt rescues Mins, causing a situation in which an innocent woman had to lose her car. Which is all bad, but hey, the heroes are all back together, let's go! The gang escapes and manages to catch up and get inside the back of the truck. And poor Bolt, he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to become an actual dog, but Mins is there to help him learn just the basics of becoming a dog. Like sticking his head out the window, catching a stick, learning to dig and bury things, playing around with water, all that. But when Mins tries to create an alternative life for them, for where they can live together in Las Vegas, Bolt still wants to find Penny even with the knowledge that he's given. Which ends up upsetting Mins because she has the belief that Penny is just an actress, just doing her job, and has no direct feelings towards Bolt. And with that anger, it leads to her accidentally slipping that she's got trauma from the fact that she's been abandoned. But even with such a tragic story, Bolt still feels determined to see Penny, which leads Mins to drift their travel apart, telling Bolt to lead the road on his own while she stays behind. When Mins breaks the news to Rhino, but more so in a way where she just says that Bolt is going after the green-eyed man, but even with that news, Rhino still chooses to chase after Bolt. When Mins gets confused as to why Rhino would do so, because she feels that Bolt doesn't need them anymore, Rhino says,
I've seen it a million times before. The hero must go and face his greatest challenge alone. If Bolt's taught me anything, that you never abandon a friend in a time of need.
Dude, Rhino, no joke, would kill at doing like those public motivational speakings. So Bolt arrives in Hollywood and finds some birds that are big super fans of him, even cracking a deal that they'd help find Bolt as to where Penny is if only Bolt could pitch the idea to the writers that the show should feature aliens.
Aliens. Oh snap. It'll be huge, man. Huge.
You can't touch us.
Yeah, even Bolt was like, sure, why not? Whatever gets me to Penny. Rhino and Mins also managed to catch up to Bolt in Hollywood, in which Rhino describes Hollywood as
The most terrifying place on Earth.
I mean, hell, I don't think he's wrong. They then arrive at the same place Bolt is at. Rhino tries to attack one of the green-eyed man's minions, but the minion is more so adored than scared of him.
I will rip your liver out of your...
Mittens then takes this distraction to try and find Bolt for herself. Bolt then finds his old trailer and reminisces of his old memories that he had. But then he hears Penny calling out his name. He gets excited, he jumps out of the trailer, and then he sees Penny! Penny sees Bolt! So both of them charge right at each other, ready to reunite after losing each other for so long, and it just...
Oh, Bolt. I thought I lost you.
Yeah. They did that scene to us. I am a dog lover, and this teared me the hell up! And Bolt, feeling devastated, leaves his toy carrot as he leaves the building, not giving enough time to see that Penny was just committing to a scene.
I miss him. I know, honey. I do too.
It's just... damn this movie! Mins then sees this moment with Penny and her mom for herself and realizes that she has to send information back to Bolt. While Penny rehearses for a scene, the fake Bolt has a panic during the scene and ends up accidentally pushing some torches, which ends up starting a fire. Mins then goes to confess the information to Bolt, but would admit that Mins was right, while she herself admits that she was wrong. But during Mins' speech is where Bolt realizes that he could hear Penny screaming from the building. Rhino nearly sacrifices himself to get Bolt into the building.
It's a good day today!
But Mins luckily gets Rhino out, but in return, it leads to Bolt entering the building by himself before the props would ultimately block the entrance out. But even through the flames, Penny and Bolt manage to finally reunite, and man...
Bolt!
This was like the third time I was crying here, man. Like, while writing out the script, because dear Lord, this movie is really good.
Bolt zooms in on him.
It's so good! For a kids film, this scene was intense and stressful to go through. With no way out and the fumes continue to come from the fire, Penny just collapses down. With little hope, Bolt manages to find an air vent that could possibly take them up, but Penny is just too powerless to handle it. But instead of escaping, Bolt chooses to stay back and lay with her. But even when all hope seems to be lost, Bolt realizes that the air vent creates a loud echo through his voice. With this realization, Bolt will get up and prepare to do his super bug, which for flip's sake, man, I did for this again!
Quiet! Everyone be quiet!
It's the super bark!
I need a minute, honestly. I really, really do. After finally being heard by everyone, Bolt collapses with Penny and eventually they're both saved and taken by an ambulance. Oh my gosh. Oh. But even with that, Bolt and Penny being in extreme condition, harmful condition, near-death experience, their agent comes up and is like, yo, let's exploit this to the media.
We're going to make this work for us. I'm talking cover stories, production deals. This is so great.
So Penny's mom snaps,
We quit.
punching the agent out of the hospital, quitting their jobs while she sends Penny and Bolt to the hospital. Hooray, hooray, screw that guy. We then show a heart monitor beeping and you're thinking, oh, is this the scene where we go to check up on Penny? Well, yes, but not really no, because this is actually a scene from the TV show that Penny used to be on, and now they're capitalizing on the fire incident. What the hell? With the doctor admitting that the damages were so bad that they had to reconstruct her face, and by reconstructing her face, they just mean that the show had to find a new actress. Dr. Calico is seen as a nurse ready to attack Penny with a shot, but Bolt comes in to make the save. But as they try to escape, an alien spaceship kidnaps them.
Aliens.
Sure, this twist in the movie still isn't as bad as the Flash using freaking lightsabers. Seriously, what did they do to my show? But we're seeing that Rhino turns off the channel, fading dull of the whole plot for the show, has a lovely wholesome moment with the family, and it seems that Penny and her mom have adopted him and Men's. Penny goes off to play with Bolt outside and cut to credits. Oh! This movie started out so, like, it's a roller coaster, man, but like, such a good movie, man. Quite the emotion, like, it's such a roller coaster ride. It made me so emotional. But look here, don't you dare tell people that I cried. I did not cry. My eyes just fell into a river. Just follow me on my socials. Here you go, right here. Subscribe, like, and comment. I am Mando, and I did not cry.